doing well. Today we'll be starting a new chapter that is about new religions. Emergence of new religion, that is chapter number 3. And the new religions are basically Jainism and Buddhism. If you ever heard about this religion, I hope you know a very I can say very uh, though these religions come under minority, but these religions have their own principles and own rules and all are there in this religion. Today we are going to discuss about this religion. What was the reason for the emergence or for the rise of this religions, Jainism and Buddhism? That is chapter number 3, new ideas and new religion. Now, basic introduction of the chapter. As I told you, ICSE has reduced the syllabus, so in your book the chapter is having so many things. Last year I taught students all the things in the chapter because all was there in the chapter but in the syllabus, but now only causes of the religion, causes of the rise of this religion is in the syllabus, so I'll be teaching only that. First of all, to understand that thing, we should have some introduction of the chapter. So the introduction of the chapter. Buddhism and Jainism are two ancient Indian religions. These religions are very ancient religion, means very old religion. They developed in Magdha. Magdha early, now it is Bihar, but earlier that region is known as Magdha, which is now is known as Bihar. To continue to thrive in the modern age, Mahavira and Gautam Buddha are generally accepted as contemporary. Mahavira was the one who started this Jainism and Gautam Buddha was the one who started this Buddhism religion. Jainism and Buddhism share many features. Both the religion are almost having the same principles and same beliefs. Both the religions are almost same. Some point are different, some things are different in these religions, but basically both the religions follow same principles. Many features are same terminology and ethical principles, but emphasize them differently. But the focus of life, the focus on the life of both the religion is different. Jainism beliefs are different for something, and Buddhism belief for the life is somewhat different. Both are Samrana ascetic tradition that believe it is possible to attain liberation from the cycle of rebirth. As if you have heard from your elder people, from your grandparents and all that about punarjanam, rebirth and all. This religion believe in rebirth. Rebirth is when you die, after death again you'll get a life, that is called rebirth. Again you'll get life on this earth. And what is moksha, or you can say nirvana? The word nirvana is there. Nirvana or moksha means when you'll get freedom from this earthly life. When you'll get freedom from this earthly life means that you'll go to heaven, or that thing is known as moksha, that you'll get mukti and moksha. This religion believe in this, that if you do good deeds, good work on this earth, you will get moksha. Moksha means that you'll get freedom from this earthly life. And if you'll do bad deeds and you will not be a good person, if you do evil, sin, then surely you'll have to get rebirth and again death, then again rebirth. So you have to follow the cycle. You have to continue with the cycle of rebirth and death if you are not a good person. If you do good deeds, you'll get the moksha. Basically this is what this religion teaches us. Principles and all these things are not in your syllabus now, so I'm not going to teach you the principles and the belief of this religion. Just I want to give you the brief introduction, and then I'll teach you the main thing which is in their syllabus, that is the causes. What was the reason why this Jainism and Buddhism came? Why the reason there was a rise of Jainism and Buddhism? As Hindus were there, other religion was there, but there was no Jainism and Buddhism. What was the situation? What was the reason that this Jainism and Buddhism rise? First is reaction against ritualism. If you remember, when we were discussing about Vedic age, we have discussed that people used to believe in what? They used to believe in yajnas, they used to believe offering, give to offering to God, they used to believe give offerings to the Pandit, to the Brahmins. Now, this is not possible for everyone, right? nowadays also, if you see, if you want to call pandit to your home, I'm not against of anything. I'm just telling you one thing, that if you call any pandit or you call for any ceremony for to do any havan and all to the pandit, what they'll do, they'll give you a list of things. Okay, you have to bring this things, and you have to give some amount of money to them as their dakshina and all. So this is not possible for everyone. This will be an expensive thing, right? It's not possible for everyone to arrange gifts for them, to arrange all the things what they are demanding. So this was the first reason why this religion came, because Brahmins were, or you can say, doing worshipping at that time was very expensive because of Brahmins. Because Brahmins used to give so many expenses. They used to do so many expenses for the ceremony, for the ritual is your riti rivaj, right? For your marriage, for your birth of a baby, for anything, they demand so much of things. They people has to spend so much of money, so it became a very expensive procedure to do worship or to do rituals. So this was the first reason why this Jainism and Buddhism arose, because it's not possible for everyone to do this rituals, to follow this rituals. And then this religion came. Religious ceremonies and rituals had become very expensive and were performed according to the whims and fancies of the priestly class. See, priestly class are the Brahmins and all. What they used to do, the Pandit and all, they used to give lots and lots of, they used to give expensive, full of list of things that they want this things to do these ceremonies. Now a person who is rich, they can afford this thing, but a person who is not rich, how they'll do? It's not possible for the poor people. So this was the reason, hence a need was felt for a simple and inexpensive way. Now people started believing that they need something, they need some faith, some belief, in which they doesn't need to spend. See, God has never said this thing that spend. If you have seen a movie, if you remember, if you have seen the movie, I'm not getting the name of a movie. uh, the Akshay Kumar and Paresh Rawal was there, right? I think, oh my god, something the movie name was. So my point is, in that movie also they have shown that God is not asking you to give, to put so much offering in the temple, or to give so much offering to the pandit. This is the people who are just asking them. They are the one, they are the human beings who are asking you to give them money. God is not asking you to give money. They are asking you to give money. They are asking you to give offering, or to give expensive things to the people, to the pandits and all, because they want that expensive thing. God is not asking you to, and even He is not asking you to do the ceremonies and all, to do the rituals. So this was the first reason for the rise of Jainism, the expensive rituals and expensive, the priest used to ask for expensive things. Second, difficult language. Now if you see the Vedas and all the Vedas and all the religious books were written in in Sanskrit. Now it is not an easy language. Till 6th standard you also have studied, it's not 6th 7th standard, and you have studied the easy language of Sanskrit. Easy means the basic part of Sanskrit. But in Vedas and all, they have written in very hard languages there. Now it's not possible for everyone to learn that language or to read that language. That's why when in ceremonies Pandit used to recite mantra and all, what people used to say, explain that mantras in Hindi, because people are not able to understand the mantras which is in Sanskrit. So that was another reason why Jainism and Buddhism rose, because people want to understand, want to have a religion with easy language, so that they can understand the religion properly. So difficult language of Brahmins, of the religion, is the another reason for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. The Vedas were written in Sanskrit, and the Brahmins gave religious discourse in only that language. It was not understood or spoken by the common people. It's till now common people can't speak Sanskrit. As I tell you, as I told you, that even when Brahmins, when you call Brahmins on ceremonies, on marriage ceremony or any other ceremony, they recite mantra. But people used to say, okay, please, Panditji, explain this mantra in Hindi so that we can understand the meaning. Because, why we ask so? Because we can't understand that language. That was the another reason People hence need was felt for religion which would be accessible for people at last, so that people can easily understand the language. If people not able to understand the language, how they'll follow the religion, how they'll believe in the religion? So second reason was difficult language. First, reaction against ritualism. Ritualism, as I told you, the strict rituals, expensive rituals, expensive gift for the pandits used to give a lot of list and all. This was the first reason for the rise of Jainism. People was fed up with this. Another, difficult language. People was not able to understand the language of Brahmins and the language of Vedas. That's why they want some religion which has easy language. And Jainism and Buddhism was, the principles and all the things were written in Prakrit language. Prakrit is that time of local language. Like in UP you speak Hindi, in Punjab you speak Punjabi. That time in Bihar they used to use Prakrit language. Prakrit is a religious over that area language, common language of that time. Then comes political situation. In the 6th century, Magda was ruled by Bimbisara and later by Ajatashatru. Both had definitive opinions about religion and philosophy. Later on, both patronized Jainism and Buddhism. Now, because of political reasons, Bimbisara and Ajatashatru was there at that time. And if you know, Ajatashatru was a very cruel ruler. He killed his own father. He killed his father Bimbisara for the sake of throne. And though both had their different philosophy for religion, and they both believe in and later on they both believe in Jainism and Buddhism. First of all, they was not ready to believe in Jainism and Buddhism, but afterward, when they realized about their mistakes, Ajatashatru realized about his mistake, and then he accepted Jainism and Buddhism. Then he was very fond of this religion. So another reason was political situation. Politically, the people started believing this religion. If at that time king was the main person, and if king started believing in such some religion, obviously people will also start believing in that religion. Same thing when Bimbisara and Ajatashatru started believing in Jainism and Buddhism. That time when they started believing in Jainism and Buddhism, the common people also started believing in this religion. So political situation was another reason for the rise of Jainism, Buddhism. So till now we have discussed three reasons. First, ritualism. Second, difficult language because of the hard language. And the third one is political situation because of king. Then comes fourth reason. Fourth reason is agriculture economy. As I told you before, nowadays we are having industrialization and other, so many people have so many occupations, so many, because people are educated nowadays. Earlier time people were not educated, and what was the main source, how they used to earn their livelihood? Two things was the main source to earn the livelihood. If you have remember that in Harappans also we have discussed how they used to earn money through agriculture and domestication of animals. When we come back to, when we talk about Vedic age, early Vedic and later Vedic people, early Vedic people also started also earning livelihood through agriculture and domestication of animals. Later Vedic people also earn their livelihood, on their income, their economy was dependent on agriculture and domestication of animal. Even this at the time of Jainism and Buddhism, people were have the two main source, agriculture and domestication of animals. Killing animals did not bode well for the farmers in the Gangetic Valley, as the increasing use of iron had made animal drawn plowing popular. As a result, they were in a position to embrace a religion that supported non-violence and was against the custom of animal sacrificing. Now, if you remember, while we were discussing Vedic age, we have discussed that people used to offer animals as offering to make their god happy. What people used to do, they used to sacrifice animals to give offering, as a give maybe their thanks offering, on any offering they used to sacrifice animals. Now people want to stop this killing of animals. They don't want to kill animal, and they want a religion which doesn't support this killing of animal, the religion who doesn't support violence. So that's why people were attracted towards this religion, Jainism and Buddhism, because Jainism and Buddhism, they were strictly banned, or they strictly abandoned the killing of animals. If you have seen on the TV or any Jain saints, you have seen that they have covered their mouth. Why they cover their mouth? If you see on TV also, some gurus and all come on the, they give lecture and all, they used to preach the religion. What why they cover their mouth? What was the philosophy behind that? Basically they cover their mouth because they don't want that by mistake also, they don't want to eat any insect. Like in summers when we simply walk, and when we simply when we sit in the garden and all, what happens sometimes, we by chance or by we ate mosquito and all, like, right? So just to avoid this thing, Jainism people wear mask on their mouth. They wear this thing because they don't want to eat animal, they don't want to do violence by mistake also. So because they were against the killing of animal, this was another reason why people attracted toward this religion, Jainism and Buddhism, because they were against, this religion was against, people were fed up of violence, people were fed up of killing animals. They want a religion in which there should be non-violence and there should be no animal sacrifice. So agriculture economy or this thing is that non-violence was the another reason for the people to support this religion. Then corruption in religion. Now what corruption means, before understand this point you should know what corruption is. If you see your parents keep on talking that okay, in our country corruption is there, corruption is there, but what that corruption means? Corruption is when people start cheating, like they used to take bribe and all, when they start cheating financially, when they start cheating financially, that is corruption. For example, if a person is earning 10,000 rupees, if a government employer, any person is earning 10,000 and 10,000 he has taken as a bribe, that is corruption. Or if a person has if a government has given 50 lakh to a person to use that 50 lakh for the construction of dam or for the construction of highway, and that person has used only 20 lakh for the construction and 30 lakh he has used for personal expense, for personally he has used that money, that is called corruption. Now what happened at that time, corruption had crept into religion and the priest often extracted money out of common citizen through different rituals. Now see what people started using, especially these pandits and all, Brahmins and all, what they started doing, they used to take money from the common citizens, they used to take money from the common citizen for the sake of rituals, for the sake of religion. Okay, just give us this much amount of money for this ceremony. Okay, you have to give this much amount of money as an offering to God. If you want your God to be happy, give this much amount as a offering, as a dakshina and all. This was the another reason that this religions arose, the Jainism and Buddhism, because people after certain period of time, people started realizing that priests are making fool of them. They're simply making fool of them. Corruption had crept into religion and the priest often extracted money out of common citizen through different rituals. This was resented by another powerful community, the Kshatriyas. Now, if you remember, when we were discussing Vedic age, we have discussed there are four clans in the society. First, Brahmins, second, Kshatriya, third, Vaishya, and fourth, Shudras. So, after Brahmins come Kshatriyas, the warriors. They realized that how people are cheating, how these Brahmins, how these priests are cheating the people. So, they have realized this thing, how priests are cheating the people through the name of rituals and all. Then they realize that they need some another religion, and many people from Kshatriyas adopted this religion. They started believing in Jainism and Buddhism. So the fifth reason is corruption in religion. Again, I'm revising. First reason was reaction against ritualism. Second, difficult language is there. Third, political situation because kings started believing in this religion. Fourth, agriculture economy, people started believing, people wanted the end of this end of killing animals, and they were fed up of violence, so they want religion with non-violence, and they don't want to kill animals, they don't want to sacrifice animal. And the fifth is corruption religion. Priests started corrupting, priests started fooling the people, and after a certain period of times people started believing, especially the Kshatriyas. They started realizing that yes, these people are making fool of us for the name of, for the namesake of religion. With the name of religion they are fooling people, they are taking money from the people as a offering, as a. The last is rigid caste system. Rigid caste system, in the earlier time I already told you that people used to believe in caste system. See this thing also, who has made this caste system? The people, the human being. While we were discussing Harappan, we have discussed there was no caste system. But when we were discussing early Vedic period and later Vedic period, there was caste system. So who brought this caste system? We, the human beings, has brought this caste system. If God has made this caste system, maybe He has made some distinctions in the human being. That high caste people have maybe four eyes and low caste people have only one leg. God has not done this thing to us. God has given equal parts, equal brain, equal everything to everyone. So this means who has done this caste system? We the people has done this caste system, and this rigid caste system was the another reason for this Jainism and Buddhism, because people were very rigid. Very rigid means very orthodox towards their caste. Okay, high people or the Brahmins will the supreme of the society. Then Kshatriyas are the warriors. They can only fight. Then Vaishyas, then Shudra. They treat you Shudras very badly. They don't even let them come to their village. They used to live outskirts of the village. They don't even allow to touch the wells of the village. To Shudras were not even allowed to touch. They can just only do the fourth class worker job. So this is the thing. This caste system was the another reason for the this Jainism and Buddhism, because in Jainism and Buddhism there is no caste system. Everyone is equal. In this religion, people used to believe in caste system. They were not even allowed the Shudras and to allow to come to the temple and all. They can't go to temple. They can't sit with the high caste people. So this was not there in Jainism and Buddhism. The caste division had become extremely rigid and there was absolutely no social mobility left in the society. Social mobility means no one can easily movable from one person to another. Like lower caste people can't move to high caste people, they can't sit with them, they can't eat with them, they can't go to the temple where they're going, they can't. Earlier time people used to have wells to for drinking water and all. They can't touch the well of the. If you see the stories, if you surf the Google, you'll get to know how people used to torture, how higher caste people used to torture these lower caste people. They use, if anyone touched the well, they used to kill the person just because he has drank the water from the well. Now this is, now who has done this? We the human being has done this, because God has not created any caste system for anyone. So this was, and there was restrictions on the basis of caste on food. Shudras were allowed only to eat simple food. They were not allowed to eat any lavish meals or any what we can say, like any royal meals, what we can say fried puri and all. They can't allow to eat. They just have to eat a common food, simple food. And high people can eat whatever they want to eat. Drinks and marriage, they were not even allowed to get into the marriage ceremony of the higher caste people. So my main point is there were so many restrictions for the lower caste people. There was so much caste system was there, rigid caste system was there. So this was the another reason people were fed up with this system, and they want a religion in which there was no caste system. So Jainism and Buddhism was a religion in which there was no caste system. So this was another reason, and this was the last reason for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism. Lastly, I am going to revise reaction against ritualism. They don't want, the rituals were very expensive. Priests used to take money. They used to do the rituals, and the rituals were very expensive. Again, I'm explaining rituals is kind your riti rivas were very expensive. The ceremonies were very expensive, and it's not possible for everyone to follow this ritual. That was the first reason for the Jainism, rise of Jainism and Buddhism, because in Jainism and Buddhism there is no such rituals, there is no expensive things. The religion was very simple. Difficult language, Jainism and Buddhism used local language, and because Vedas and Brahmins used to recite Sanskrit, which is not an easy language for everyone to understand, and that's the reason Jainism and Buddhism arose, and that Jainism and Buddhism were in common language. The religion was explained in common language, easily can understand the language. Political situation, king used to believe in this religion. That's why people also started believing in this religion. Agriculture economy, people started believing. People doesn't want to kill animals. People doesn't want to sacrifice animal. People doesn't want violence in the society. So that's why they opted this religion, because in Jainism and Buddhism there is no violence, and there is no custom or there is no ritual of animal sacrifice. Corruption in religion, priests used to make fool of common people. They used to take money, they used to bluff people for the sake of religion. And that was another reason. When the people realized that they are bluffing the people, priests are bluffing the people for the namesake of religion, they realized, they opted for this religion, Jainism and Buddhism. And the last one, the caste system, very strict caste system. There was high people used to enjoy everything, and they used to treat lower people very badly. So this was the thing. This was the another reason people fed up with this, and they wanted a system, they wanted a religion in which there should be no caste system. So this is the last point. I hope you understand the points. If you have any doubt in the point, just go through from your books. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Again, I'm telling you, I taught only this thing from the chapter, only the rise, only the causes of the rise of the Jainism and the Buddhism, because in your syllabus, in your new ICSE syllabus, only this is there. This in this chapter only causes are there in the syllabus, so that's why I'm teaching only causes. If you have any doubt in this point, you can ask. Thank you.